So here's the thing, y'all. College might not be for everyone. What's up, y'all? My name is Trevor Went, and I'm an artist based out of Raleigh, North Carolina, that makes art to challenge perspectives and give hope to the marginalized and oppressed. And so this is Durag Thoughts. It is episode 3 of season 1, and it's a space where we kind of talk about things that kind of exist within the topic that I just kind of laid out, that, you know, art that challenges perspectives and give hope to the marginalized and oppressed. So this is going to include topics of faith, race, culture, feminism, you know, all sorts of different stuff, empowerment, like all sorts of different things that are going to fit within this space. Is a space for me to kind of have a longer form version to give my thoughts on some different ideas and some different issues. And this may grow, might have another person here, might have a conversation, but for right now, we're going to just chop it up about a host of different topics. So let's jump into the topic for today. College really might not be for everyone. More and more people are going to college. It's a little bit different of a cultural shift than, 50 or 60 years ago. And we're kind of in this space where a lot of us are accruing debt upon debt upon debt. I went to a private Christian affiliated school. I wrestled there. It was a Division II school in Tennessee. And I accrued somewhere around $40,000 of debt. And that was with a 2/3 wrestling scholarship. So it was a pretty pricey school. But even when people are going to state schools and different things like that, people are still accruing a pretty significant amount of debt. There's some people who are in lower ranges than me, but then there's some people who are around the ranges of me, and there's some people who are going to even higher ranges. There was a kid that I was going to high school with that was going to go to Drexel. In Drexel, I think it's mandatory a 5-year school, and it's over $50,000, and he didn't really have a lot of financial aid and different things like that. So he was accruing a lot of debt to go to this school that was kind of his dream school. And I don't know that I agree with this accruing debt formula, depending upon what your major is, what you're trying to study, what you're trying to seek after. There's certain things that you have to go to college for. You have to go to college if you're trying to be a doctor, you're trying to be a scientist, you're trying to be a nurse. Like, there's things that you have to get the specific accreditations for. But for instance, something like this, making videos, shooting photos, there's a lot of things that you can learn on YouTube University, how I refer to it, There's a lot of things that you can teach yourself in the midst of those trades, or even not go to a 4-year school, but go to a community college, have a little bit more of a focused curriculum, and then kind of launch into your field. And it's kind of wild to me that more and more of us are accruing this debt, and then it's like, oh, you're gonna have this promise that, like, once you get out of college, you're gonna instantly have a job. But I'm finding more and more times that friends of mine get out of college and try to walk into the workforce, is they're not walking into jobs that are completely, like, directly related to their field. Now, granted, I think some of those people aren't doing really intentional work within their college experiences, but at the same time, it's still like people are trying to develop and figure out who they are, and they're walking into life with, at times, pretty crippling debt. For me, I'm a full-time visual arts director at a church here in Raleigh, and people who work for churches don't make crazy amounts of money most of the time. And so, if I was to get into a space, like right now, I'm in seminary as well, doing my graduate work, and I promised myself that I would not go into further debt to go into seminary, because I knew if I did that, I would enter into near 6 figures of debt, and then I would be in ministry trying to pay off almost 6 figures of debt. And that's crazy. It doesn't even make sense. And so I promised myself that if I couldn't pay for it while I went through it, or I couldn't get a scholarship to pay for everything, I wasn't going to do it. And so I kind of think people need to consider, like, what am I actually trying to do? What are the things that make me come alive? What are the things that make me full and energized? and then try to figure those things out, try out a bunch of things, figure out what those things are, and then kind of determine, do I need to go to college for this? Because I don't think it makes a lot of sense for us to keep accruing this debt upon debt upon debt upon debt. Now, some people think that the amassing like growth of college debt is going to be the thing that sends us into our next recession. And I don't know enough about economics to tell you if that's true or not, but it seems like it makes a lot of sense because college debt keeps getting higher and higher and higher and higher. So especially with something like if you're interested in photography or filmmaking or something like that, like if you're interested in doing feature films and interested in like working in Hollywood, there's probably an argument for that sort of thing going to college, but there's also an argument for shooting your shot, sending emails to places and trying to get on sets to just be a production assistant or something like that. So I think there's things that we kind of need to look through and think about. Is this something that I need to go to college for? Or is this something that I can figure out in another way? So what do you think? What are your thoughts? Do people need to go to college? Or is our generation, of parents going to, tell their kids not to go to college as much? What do you think is going to happen as we kind of move forward in, our society? Tell me in the comments, like this video if you enjoyed it, gained anything from it. Share it with anyone who might be interested to get something out of this, and subscribe to this content as we kind of make more Durag Thoughts episodes come out. Well, that's all I have for y'all today. I appreciate your time, appreciate you listening, and we'll catch you on the next one. Be easy, y'all.